perfect. Do you know how insane this is? Google just dropped a feature that lets you build entire websites and web apps completely for free without any prior knowledge about coding or setting things up manually. You can literally take an idea to a product in a matter of minutes. And the craziest thing is that for some reason, people aren't talking about this, even though it can make literally half of the AI tools that you're currently using completely redundant. So to really show you guys how cool this is, in this video, I'm going to be going through 3 examples, okay? We're kind of going to be starting from a low intensity, kind of an easy example so you guys can get the hang of it. And then each example, we're going to be increasing the intensity and how challenging it might be for Google to actually create these web apps. So is it really possible to create a full-fledged web app in a matter of minutes? Well, I guess we're about to find out. Alright, so first of all, if you guys do want to follow along, just go to Google, type in Google AI Studio, and then click the one that says, obviously, Google AI Studio. Now, once you're here, it'll open up this page, and in the top right-hand corner, you want to click Get Started. Now, obviously, if you don't have a Google account or you're not logged in, you're going to need to log into your account. Once you're here, it's going to take you to this homepage, and the option that we want to be selecting here is called Build. When you click on Build, it's basically going to take you to this dashboard. Now, since this video is primarily aimed at beginners, I'm essentially going to be trying to explain things as simply as I can. I'm really going to be assuming that you guys are just stupid as f, okay? That's how I'm going to go about this. So what you're seeing right here in this dashboard is a bunch of different options that you can use to help build your web app. And these essentially are connected using APIs. I'm honestly not going to get into that, but it's essentially the different softwares that you have access to whenever you're building whatever you want to build, right? So for example, a lot of you guys will know about Nano Banana because I've made multiple videos on it in the past. And if you regularly wanted to connect this to whatever you're trying to build using Lovable or Bolt.new or any other, automated website building platform, you would need to connect the API on the back end. But because we're obviously building using Google, this is automatically done. So you don't need to worry about any of that back end hassle. Now, there are a couple more things worth explaining here. First of all, is going to be the model that we want to select whenever we're using our prompt, okay? And there's 2 different models you can select from. Obviously, there's number 1, which is Flash, and essentially the name lives up to what it is because it's just a faster model, but it's not as high quality. And then the model you pretty much always want to be using is Pro, okay? Obviously, at the time you're watching this, it might change, but essentially you always want to be using the highest quality model. I don't see why you wouldn't. Then you've got the system instructions. You can essentially think of this like a system prompt. I mean, if you're not familiar with a system prompt, it's basically how you want the AI to kind of operate or how you want it to behave. You might say, make everything as simplistic as possible or make everything as animated and magical or something as possible. However you want it to be themed, that's how you would instruct the system to operate. We're just going to leave that blank for now. System instructions, I don't even know what that means, don't really care. Microphone selector, now this is if you want to use speech to text. So if we go out of this, well, first of all, this is going to be essentially selecting your microphone. So whatever microphone you're using, you just select it there. But the only reason you would do that is if you want to make use of this button right here, which is speech to text. So for example, if I wanted to have this massive prompt and I really couldn't be stuffed just typing it all in, then I would go to speech to text and I'll just say it all out loud. The other button that you can use right here is add files. You can essentially upload images and photos and stuff like that. If you want to say, I want my web app to look like this, or I want it to have these different colors or these pictures, whatever, you can almost upload reference images, which is really, really cool. And then this button right here, I'm feeling lucky. I believe it's just like a randomizer. If you just want to randomly generate an app, obviously we're not going to be doing that right now. All right, so now that's pretty much everything you guys honestly need to know. So let's get started with example number 1. So I've got this prompt already here. I'm just going to read it out. It says, build a simple web app called RoastMe GPT, where users can type anything like a bio, a business idea, selfie caption, and the AI responds with the clever, funny roast. Use a playful UI with roast intensity, so you can go low to high in terms of how intense the roast is. Make it mobile friendly and show past roast below the input box. So that's a very, very simple prompt. Like I said, guys, the first example right here, well, let me just click through this. The first example right here is just going to be a simple one, kind of getting the feel, showing you guys exactly how it works. Usually for a prompt like this, where we're not actually connecting any APIs and stuff like that, it should take, I don't know, like 30-40 seconds here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it's done and I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, so we're back, and as you can see, it ended up running for 53 seconds, so not too far off what I predicted. But as you can see, we've got the web app interface right here. It's called RoastMe GPT, and if you want to, guys, as well, you can go to full screen. Something else I will mention, although I do want to keep it simple, like I said, is that if you want to manually go in and edit some things, you can always click on the code editor right here and go in and edit it yourself. But of course, we're going to stay out of that for now. Now, let's just see if it works off the bat, off the very first prompt. Let's see if it's working. Now, we do have the slider like we asked for. We've got mild, spicy, savage. We're just going full spectrum right now, straight to savage. Let's just say my name, Jeff. Let's see if it roasts my name, even though that's not my actual name. If you know, you know. So it should take a second here. That's pretty cool. It's called the Hall of Flame because that's where all of the roasts are going to show up right there. And there we go. Okay. My name Jeff. Oh, is that an introduction, or are you just announcing the peak of your intellectual contribution to humanity? Because if my name Jeff is your magnum opus, I'm genuinely worried about what else that meme, it actually gets the meme. That's pretty sick. Cool. Yeah, so it's a full functioning web app right now. And something else, guys, if you do want to go full screen without seeing all this extra interface, you can click to go full screen like that. And a couple other buttons if you want to see it from a different view, like a mobile view, you can click it like that. If you want to see it from a tablet view, click it like that. You can rotate it as well, although it's not rotating, whatever, doesn't really matter to me. Let me switch back to current screen size. You can refresh it here if you want to. There's a button to save it right here. You can download the app if you want to. You can save it to a GitHub. You can deploy the app live. Obviously, we're not going to do that in this video, but if you actually wanted to launch a web app using this, then you can doing that. You can share your app and you can switch to your own API key. So that's example number one. Pretty cool. Let me just tweak around right here because I do want to show you guys a little bit more while we're on this more simple example. What I'm going to show you guys first of all is this suggestions feature right here, okay? Because this can sometimes be really cool. So let's find a cool one right here. Okay, let's just go with this anime roast response. I'm not even sure what that's going to cook up right here, but once it's done, I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so after 21 seconds, it has finished this little iteration, and obviously our prompt was animate the appearance of the roast, and it said, of course, a little dramatic flair. Cool. Okay, cool. So let's do this again. Let's just say my name Jeff again. Go savage. Click roast me. And now let's see if there's an animation. I guess that's what it's meant to be doing here. Maybe when it's as soon as it finishes generating. Okay, I didn't see any animation right there unless I missed, or maybe it's talking about this animation, who knows. Honestly, I don't really care because this example was kind of just to show you guys how it works. But example number 2 and especially example number 3 are really going to show you guys how cool this is. All right, so example number 2 is going to be a web app that essentially lets you see what you would look like with various different haircuts. It sounds pretty simple, but it's going to be pretty cool because we're going to be using Nano Banana. So it's actually going to be obviously Nano Banana powered. So let's go back right here. Let's go, let me just fill in this prompt. I've already got a prompt ready for you guys. You already know I come prepared, and we're just going to paste this in. So as you guys can see right here, it says build a web app called Haircut GPT that lets users upload a photo and preview themselves with different hairstyles using the Nano Banana API. Now, one thing I will mention, guys, if you actually do want to connect it, you need to make sure that you're selecting whatever you want to use from this menu right here. So we're obviously going to be using Nano Banana powered app right here. And as you can see, it pins it to the top like that. Include the following features: image upload section for face photos, drop down, cool, a try style button, simple modern UI, cool, and a save image if they actually want to save the image. We're using 2.5 Pro, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and click build. All right, so as you can see, it's finished generating right here, and the question is, after a minute and 20 seconds, do we have a full-fledged working app? Let's find out. So here's the UI, Haircut GPT, preview your next look with AI. Let me take it full screen actually so you guys can might be able to see better. Now you can see this is the section to upload your photo. So let's go ahead and click that. Let's see if it works. And it does. It kind of minimizes the screen there a little bit. But one thing I will mention for this, guys, if you do want to have like an interface where you upload your own image or file or whatever, make sure that you have pop-ups enabled, because I did have an issue earlier where in my browser I had pop-ups disabled. So I was clicking the button and it was working, but my browser would shut down any pop-ups. So make sure you have that enabled in your browser settings. Now we're just going to go and select an image of me, same one that I use for my YouTube channel right there. So we're going to go ahead and choose a style. Let's see, electric blue. What kind of stuff? Classic buzz cut. Okay, let's do a classic buzz cut and let's see what it, if I click this and it works. Think about how sick that is. In one prompt, one single prompt, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Let's see if it created a working application. AI is working its magic, styling your new look. Now, if it's using Nano Banana, it should take like 10 seconds right here. I mean, it worked. Yo, I don't know if I like that look, but yo, it worked perfectly. Obviously, you can see the save image button is kind of protruding outside of this like guide rail or box here. Let's add an extra section. This is just me kind of tweaking with it now out of fun. Let's say add a oh no, this is a perfect chance for me to show you guys a sick feature as well. Let's use the annotate app. It has a video about it on it. It's pretty simple. You can just draw an arrow or draw whatever you want. Where can we do this? I'm just going to do this for an example, guys, okay? I'm going to say, let's add text in the middle. Let's say, add a comparison before and after box. Let's just do that, okay? Essentially, I want it to have a before and after side by side so you can actually see what the difference is between the two. That's probably the worst way I could have made it, but you guys understand the annotation feature is one of the sickest things about it. So let's go add to chat, and it's going to add that as a screenshot right there, and we're just going to click send prompt, and let's see if this makes a comparison box where we can see what I look like before versus what I would look like after. All right, guys, generation is finished. Let's go ahead and see, did it work or did it not? Let me use a different image, okay? We're using that Goku Super Saiyan form. We're going to give him a buzz cut, okay? Cleanest buzz cut of all time. Let's click try style. And now if it's working, what it should do is it should come up with like 2 side-by-side boxes saying this is the before image, this is the after image. Although I guess it's kind of like that already because you can see the original photo that you uploaded. So I'm kind of just nitpicking right here. But I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we asked for. So you can see before one, you can see the after one. Okay, let me add one more tweak because I'm getting carried away, but this is so sick, okay? Let me add one more tweak because I'd like to be able to click on the images and enlarge them, obviously. And let's say, make the save image box outside of the, outside of the main card. If you don't know what a card is, it's essentially like website language. The card would be this main square area right here. Let's just do that. And then let's say, allow user to be able to click the images to enlarge them. Now, generally speaking, at least in my history in Bolt and Lovable and that, I would advise people not to try and fix multiple things with one prompt. So I guess this is kind of going to be a test of itself right here to see, can we fix 2 issues? Number 1, can we make the save image button, go down or in a different spot so the spacing is the same? And number 2, can we make it so that we can click on the images to enlarge them? So let's find out in a second here. Okay, generation is done. You can see it says save image button relocated and click to enlarge. So let's go ahead. We need to refresh this actually. And then let us upload Goku again. Let's give him a mohawk this time. Click try style. So if it's working correctly, we should be able to click on the images that are produced right here and enlarge them. And we should also see that the spacing is the same now because the save image button shouldn't be. Okay, it's still messed that up, but let's see. Okay, it's definitely not working. Let me try it one more time. Let's go ahead and click this. Maybe it didn't like the mohawk. Let's give him long flowing hair. Oh, okay, so this is what it's meant to look like. So let's click. There we perfect. Bro, this is do you know how insane this is? Do you know how insane this is? Okay, you have the save image button right there. Let me just go ahead and see if that works. Save image button works. You can click to enlarge it. You can click that one as well. It's perfectly spaced out. I hope you guys understand. Let me just do one more example right here to really make you guys understand this, okay? Imagine you're pitching this to a barbershop. I don't know what I don't want to give myself some crazy stuff here, I'll be honest. But let's just do a modern fade, okay? It's probably going to give me like the same thing because what I have is pretty close to a modern fade, but I hope you guys understand while this is loading, okay? This web app that I've just created right here, I guarantee you 100%, if you were to go to different barbershops and you were to customize the web app, let's say there's a barbershop called like Top Barbers or something like that, and you customize the web app to say Top Barbers Haircut Simulator, right? And you went to each different barbershop and said, yo, I've just created this custom software for you. Do you want to pay me like a couple $100 a month? You can use it and you can show all of your clients what their haircuts would look like before they get it, right? I guarantee you could make money doing that. It's so insane. Anyway, let's see right here, my clean fade. There we go, right? So everything's working perfectly. You can save the image. You can have the side-by-side before and after. You can click to enlarge it. You can do anything. I could probably add, I could definitely add more haircuts right here if I wanted to. Bro, low-key, I want one of you guys to take this idea and actually pitch it to barbershops, bro. And honestly, while we're on the topic, guys, I have my school community right here. If you join the school community and you actually want to do this idea, I will actually hold your hand and see how it works, okay? Because I guarantee you that, I don't know if people have done that, but you could definitely go to barbershops and make something custom, a bespoke website or web application for them and see if they're into it. But regardless, guys, join the school community. I will help you make money using AI. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's move on to example number 3. All right, so example number 3 is going to be to create a travel planner app. And this is obviously going to be the hardest one yet. And the reason being is that we need our web app to be able to go into Google Maps and actually retrieve information so that we can use it to plan a trip. Cool, let's go back to start. And now let me copy my little prompt right here. I do want to say, guys, all of these prompts that I'm putting in, these were literally AI generated. You could easily make better prompts than this. I'm literally just doing it for the sake of examples. So let's say build a travel planner web app called Trip Genie that connects to Google Maps and places APIs. The user enters a destination and number of days. The app generates a full itinerary with nearby attractions, restaurants, and hotels. Show a map preview, daily plan cards, and a button to export the itinerary to Google Calendar. Cool. Now is there a Google Maps integration here? Use Google Maps data. Okay. We'll do that. Let's see if it worked. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. But if this works, it's just going to be even more mind-blowing than the haircut one because it's such a more nuanced and complicated topic than just change my haircut. Okay, so after 80 seconds, it's finished generating here, but it is coming up with this pop-up saying allow this app to request access to geographic. Honestly, I don't care. Google, have my location. Allow while visiting the site. Sure. Cool. Destination. Now, the coloring here is definitely weird, but let's see if the functionality works. We'll keep it at Paris, France. Cool. Let's change the days to, we'll just do 7 days, whatever. Start date, today. Cool. Plan my trip. I just want to see if it works, to be honest with you. I want to see if it can actually scrape Google information. I guess technically it's not scraping, but I want to see if it can actually use information on Google Maps and actually say, okay, based on how many days they want, based on what destination they want, let's actually plan something. So let's see, arrival. Okay, that map preview definitely isn't working, tell you that much. Arrival, hotel check-in. I want to see, is this actually a hotel? Okay, it is a hotel, so we're definitely getting real places. I know the Eiffel Tower is a place that exists. I know that much. Cool. I'm just going to kind of fact check a few of these. Like it sounds like it could be fake. Is this a real thing? I'm not sure, bro. The language is confusing me, bro. I don't know what's... Okay, it looks like it is, right? Actually, there are no... Hotel Beret Le Fouquet? I think it's a real thing, but I'm not sure. Maybe I should have picked a different place or destination. But it looks like it's all working, right? Let's see if this other functionality, the add to calendar function, is working. If I click this, is it actually going to open up Google Calendar? It is. It is. That's insane. So we got Google Maps integration, Google Calendar integration. It's got sources here. Okay, so this is actually, let's see. This is going to open up Google Maps to go directly to the... It is, bro. So it is. I want to find Le Fouquet, bro. Where's Le Fouquet? I know I'm saying that wrong, bro. I know I'm saying it wrong. Okay, honestly, guys, you get the point. I'm not trying to make a whole full-fledged app right here, but you can see it's working, and it is actually listing the sources that it's drawing from on Google Maps. Wow, that looks sick, by the way. Yo, I might have to go there, bro. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. I've given you 3 different examples. You can see exactly how to create your own web apps in literally minutes. This was 80 seconds, by the way, but I have to say, the coolest one for me is the haircut one. You can actually tangibly sell that to barbershops as long as you make it like a bespoke website and stuff like that. So again, guys, there is quite literally, it's 2025, there is literally no excuse to not be making money with AI by now. And if you are struggling, join the Skool community. I will help you. I'll jump on calls with you. You can talk to me whenever you want to. Like I said, guys, if you're not making money with AI now, there's only 2 options. You're either stupid or you just don't want to put in the effort. That's genuinely the only 2 options. So thanks for watching. I'm out.